This game is much better than it has any right to be. I guess after Genshin Impact's success, we should expect more mobile and PC crossovers. This is Game of Thrones Kingsroad, and it will be free to play, and I played it. In this video, I will break down the game and give my initial thoughts. Don't get me wrong, you can tell it's a game designed for mobile as well, but it still looks decent and runs pretty smoothly. It's an open-world action RPG with, you guessed it, an open world. You can do quests, craft your gear, and explore. You know, the things you expect from an open-world RPG, but this time set in the Game of Thrones universe. You play as the heir to House Tyre, a once proud northern house that has fallen on hard times. With your father ill and your brothers dead, you are thrust into the power struggles of Westeros. After a terrifying encounter with the White Walkers, Jon Snow sends you south on a mission to warn the great houses of the coming threat, if they'll even listen. Along the way, you'll need to rebuild your house's standing, forge alliances, and decide where your loyalties truly lie. Currently, you can choose from 3 different classes: a knight, a sellsword, and an assassin. Basically, an all-rounder, a slow but high-damage dealer, and a rogue. All classes can also use a bow or crossbow. Combat is third-person, with dodge, block/parry, and chained attacks. You have both combos and special abilities, adding some depth to encounters. The developer describes it as dynamic and immersive visceral action combat. I wouldn't go that far yet, but it feels decent, and there's a solid level of impact when landing blows. Story-wise, they're clearly aiming for a typical Game of Thrones narrative. All the major characters from the books and HBO series are present in their show appearances. The developers have also confirmed choice and consequence mechanics, but we'll have to see how much they actually matter. Certain story moments are locked behind level requirements, which forces you to spend more time in the game, grinding. Some quests have time-based objectives, like needing to kill all enemies within a certain limit, giving you another reason to upgrade your gear and level up. There's also a house standing system, which determines your influence in Westeros. If your standing is too low, you won't be invited to the king's court, and certain alliances or quests might be locked off. This ties directly into the political side of the game. Your house is only as strong as the reputation you build. The game features co-op dungeons as weirwood challenges, where you team up with other players to defeat bosses and earn rare loot. These aren't part of the open world, but act as instanced encounters tied to the game's lore. The weirwood trees allow players to relive legendary battles or fight mythical creatures. The world itself is larger than expected, and you're not just running everywhere. You can ride horses to travel across Westeros faster. The quest structure is also more open-ended from a story point of view. How much consequences your choices actually have is something we have to see. I doubt it will be huge due to its mobile live service nature. However, even if it's a little, it can give a bit of extra flavor to the game that keeps it interesting. Visually, the game looks impressive for a mobile-first title, with detailed environments, high-quality character models, and cinematic cutscenes that match the HBO aesthetic. The lighting and effects create a gritty and atmospheric version of Westeros, bringing locations like King's Landing and the Wall to life. However, it's obviously not high-end PC fidelity. Textures and animations aren't quite at the level of AAA console RPGs. That said, for a cross-platform mobile game, it looks better than expected and avoids the overly simplified look that some mobile RPGs fall into. There are a few remaining open questions. The first one is how much build crafting is actually possible, or if you're mostly just grinding for raw power. If you are just grinding for raw power, then the question is if it will remain fun. The second one is obviously around the monetization. Currently, we don't know the answer yet, but I'd expect at least some pay-to-progress mechanics. If there weren't any, they would have made that clear by now. That said, I had fun playing it, and since it's free, I'll definitely play more. Will it hold up compared to other action RPGs and remain fun? No idea. That depends at this point mostly on the story and on how grindy it will feel. To summarize, this is an open-world action RPG in the Game of Thrones universe, free to play, coming to PC and mobile. Genshin Impact has shown that these types of games can be great, so we'll see if this one delivers. That's it for my video on Game of Thrones Kingsroad. Are you looking forward to it? Let me know in the comments. If you like these short, no-filler videos that don't waste your time, consider liking and subscribing. Regardless, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.